Eyes up, Guardian, and welcome to the first ever episode of Legends of Destiny, a brand new Destiny-focused show created by myself and BigCTV. This is the very first episode of Legends of Destiny, and of course, we want your feedback for everything that we can. So, this is just a test. We'll see how it goes. If everybody likes it, please let me know. If not, I won't do another one, promise. Anyway, today on the first ever episode of Legends of Destiny, we're going to talk about some of the hot topics this week with the Taken King. We're also going to give you weekly reset information on all the various things inside of Destiny. We're going to showcase what Xur has to offer in Agent of the Nine. And then lastly, I'm going to showcase some moments of triumph. All of that is next on the first ever episode of Legends of Destiny. Hello, fellow Guardians, and once again, welcome to Legends of Destiny. My name is Chris, aka Big C. I am also known as Screaming Pickle on both Xbox Live and PlayStation 4. So, Legends of Destiny. What is it? Why am I doing a new show entirely focused on Destiny? The short answer is, I really enjoy it. It's a really enjoyable game. I've played it a lot over the past month. I cannot be more excited about the Taken King when it releases, and I wanted to share that excitement and share some of that knowledge that I've gained over the past few months with my fellow Guardians, as well as those who may not play Destiny. So that's the focus of this show, is we're going to focus on what you can learn about Destiny, how to improve your play, how to make the most of your time, all kinds of good stuff. I figured there's so much to do in Destiny every week that it's worth talking about every week. So the goal of this show is I'm going to try to do it weekly. It's going to be about 30 minutes depending on the week. Some might be longer than others. And I'm going to try to talk about all the various big topics as well as showcase what's going on in the game every week. And of course, I want to get your feedback like I mentioned at the top of the show. So, if you have any suggestions, comments, concerns about what we're doing, please let me know by either commenting on this video or sending me an email at bigctvshow@gmail.com. So that's how you can reach me for the show. And of course, we also want to gather community thoughts and requests as well as your moments of triumph. We'll talk about those a little bit more when we get to our segments. So without further ado, let's get to our first segment, which is, of course, all the big information that has been released about the Taken King this past week from the Game Informer article, as well as from Gamescom. I'm going to talk about two topics in particular and my thoughts on them, because there's so much to unpack, we're not going to have enough time to go over everything. So here is our topic of the week. Alright, so for this week's topic of the week, it's actually two. I'm kind of cheating already on the first episode, right? So there are two things I wanted to discuss and share my thoughts on. The first, the probably less upsetting one, is the replacement of Peter Dinklage in the game. Of course, for those of you who do not know, Peter Dinklage, aka Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones, plays the role of Ghost, who's your primary companion in Destiny. He's been doing it for the last year. He was in the game originally. Now, when the two expansions for Destiny were released this year and last year, Dinklage was not involved in any way. In fact, Ghost did not utter a word in either of the two expansions. A lot of people were curious as to why that was the case. Some thought it was just because a lot of people did not like his performance. Others thought maybe he just didn't negotiate to be in the game anymore. No matter the case, in Taken King, Bungie has confirmed that Ghost is going to speak again, but it will not be Peter Dinklage who will be lending his voice talents. This time it will be veteran gaming voice actor Nolan North, better known as Nathan Drake from the Uncharted games. Of course, everybody knows Nolan North. If you've played a video game that has a voice protagonist, I'm sure you've heard Nolan North. He does everything. Him and Troy Baker do everything you could possibly think of. So it doesn't come as that big of a surprise that if they're going to replace Dinklage, you pick one of the best known voice actors in the gaming industry. It is going to be a little bit different to hear Nolan North's take on Ghost. I'm assuming he's not really going to do the same style that Dinklage does, but hey, we'll find out. But the other interesting thing that causes a little bit of controversy is the fact that not only is North taking over the role of Ghost, but Bungie is actually redubbing the entire first game with Nolan North. So when you boot up Taken King, even if you're starting the game for the first time, you will not hear Peter Dinklage. You will only hear Nolan North. That means Dinklage is essentially erased from Destiny history. Kind of sad. And a lot of the kids who jump in maybe year 3, year 4, a few years down the road, they're never going to know what it was like for Dinklebot, as the internet has affectionately called him, to tell you that the wizard came from the moon. Well, not even everybody will know that, because that was from the alpha that I got to play last year, or a couple years ago. So, very interesting. Personally, I'm sad to see Dinklage go. I'm a big fan of his work. I actually thought his performance was pretty good. It's not supposed to be, you know, a tour de force. It's a video game. And on top of that, he's a companion whose job it is to tell you basic story information while unlocking a door. So I thought he did a good job. And I enjoyed listening to him talk to me throughout the game. So, farewell, Dinklebot. However, thankfully, because I am one of the adopters of the Destiny Ghost Edition, I will always have Dinklebot with me. Always.
This place is amazing.
Well said.
Fascinating. This place is littered with pre-Golden Age artifacts.
You don't say.
Grab everything that isn't bolted down. I'll keep an eye out for Fallen.
Probably a good idea. So, yep. There's our first topic. Anyway, our second topic, of course, is going to be legendary weapons and armor. Now, Bungie has officially said, as of a couple days ago, all of your Year 1 legendary armor and weapons will not continue on with you. Well, in a matter of speaking, you will not be able to further advance your weapon. So, for those of us who spent so much time to earn Etheric Light to ascend our Vision of Confluence, or Fatebringer, or Word of Crota, all those great weapons from the raids, they're not going to keep going with you. That kind of upsets me a bit. However, I understand the thought process because Bungie wants you to play with their new guns. They work so hard to make them for the Taken King that they want you to enjoy them for all they're worth. So if you keep holding on to the same guns forever, it doesn't really help. I'm a little miffed just because I feel you should have the option if you really do want to continue using your existing guns. You should be able to. However, that should give Bungie a challenge to try to make those other guns better. So I will definitely miss my Vision of Confluence. I will definitely miss my Found Verdict. I will miss my Word of Crota. However, I am excited to see what comes with the Taken King. And on top of that, they did say, hold on to them because they're still going to be good in the old game content, aka the old raids, Crucible, that kind of stuff. So don't dismantle everything just yet. But you can basically kiss your guns goodbye because they're not coming with you to Taken King. Makes me kind of sad, but that's life. Alright, so our next segment is called Loot Drop. And the idea behind it is I want everyone to be able to share their favorite loot that they got throughout the week. So if you have an awesome drop that you want to share with everyone, make sure you post a comment on this video or email me at bigctvshow@gmail.com. And share your awesome loot moments, because that's part of what makes Destiny so good, are awesome loot moments. So I'm going to share some of mine. Here is Loot Drop. Alright, so Loot Drop this week wasn't super eventful for the most part. I did both raids and the Nightfall on my level 34 Hunter. For Vaults, I pretty much got armor pieces. Nothing really substantial, no good guns. I'm still aiming for Fatebringer. I want it so bad. Haven't gotten it yet. Crota this time, the main thing I got was a ship. I also got an armor piece, which is cool. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then the Nightfall. I have a really terrible streak about the fact that whenever I get an exotic, typically the next exotic that's going to drop is one that I already have. Case in point, my very first exotic was Thunderlord. I got it from a Crucible drop. Next, I played Prison of Elders 28 for the first time. And if you did not know, the first time you play Prison of Elders 28, when you use your golden key on the chest, you are guaranteed an exotic. So that's awesome. So I figured, alright, I'll double my exotic inventory. Nope, I got Thunderlord again. So I sharded it and upgraded my Thunderlord fully. Next week, Zur sold Patience in Time, which is an awesome sniper rifle. I did the Nightfall that week and got Patience in Time. So last week, the very last week, Zur sold Suros Regime, which is a cool machine gun. Or sorry, not machine gun, auto rifle. And I'm like, alright, cool. So that just adds to my collection of good exotics. I'm beginning to build up a collection now. I did the Nightfall this weekend, got Suros Regime. I can't seem to win. The only drop that I've gotten that has not been a double has been Galahorn. That I got last week, and if you did not see my reaction on BigCTV, pretty amazing. I also got word of Crota in the very same drop, so that was pretty cool. And I hope to have more awesome moments like that. Lastly, probably the only kind of exciting drop that I got this week wasn't really a drop. I got my first exotic bounty. I grinded and grinded all morning and turned in, I think, 10 bounties. So it took a while, but I finally got one out. What I did not realize is that you had an option of what bounty you got to select, and I just kind of kept pressing A. So I took a look at what I got, and I ended up getting the Pocket Infinity bounty, which is cool. I'm down for that. Sounds like a cool fusion rifle. I wish I could have saw, because if I had the option to choose the Thorn bounty, I would have grabbed that in a heartbeat. But hey, I got the Pocket Infinity bounty, so I'm going to keep working on that with my Hunter. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got in terms of loot. Not a ton this week, but, I mean, hey, it's not a terrible week. So, like I said at the top of this segment, I want to hear more about your favorite loot stories. So if you have an awesome loot moment to share, please comment on this video, maybe send a link. If you have a YouTube video of it, I can put that in the show, or send me an email at bigctvshow@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to share the community's best loot moments in the show. Alright, so next we're going to talk about the weekly reset information. Now, of course, for those of you who don't know, Destiny is a game that's basically an MMO. It's not quite, but it's close. So every week they try to bring you new challenges, new things to do. So one of the big things they do is they have a weekly heroic strike, a weekly nightfall strike. Both of those things give you lots of big rewards. You can only do them once a week, though, and they change throughout the weeks. So we're going to give you information on those, as well as information about the Prison of Elders and a few inventory thoughts. So here is your weekly information, courtesy of Destiny. Alright, so for today's talk about the weekly reset, we've got quite a few things to go over. First, the weekly heroic strike is from House of Wolves. You are fighting Tenix the Scarred. We've done that one a lot lately, but this time it's the heroic instead of the Nightfall, which is kind of nice. For the Nightfall, though, we are fighting Septix Prime on Earth. The first strike you play in the game, so you should probably know it pretty well if you've gotten to the point where you can play a Nightfall. However, it's not easy because it does have a light switch. The modifiers, of course, for the for the Nightfall are Epic, Angry, Light Switch, Brawler, and of course Nightfall. The heroic, the modifiers are Heroic and Specialist, so not too bad for those. So when it comes to Prison of Elders, 32 is Urok's Grudge. 34 is going to be the Forever Eater, where you fight Vex for the final boss, and of course Skolas is level 35. So that's pretty exciting. Alright, in terms of important inventory bits, House Judgment has leg armor, so if you're looking for high-level legs to go with the rest of your high-level armor, it's a good way to spend your armor core. He's also got Aegeus of the Kell, which is a pulse rifle. So that's pretty nice to have. Yep. And then, of course, you got your Queen's bounties, all that good stuff. So that's pretty much all we've got in terms of the weekly reset stuff. I'm going to try to give all that, hopefully a little more detail throughout the course of the time we got, but, you know, figured it's worth going over. So next, we're going to show you the location and what Xur has for sale in the first ever session of Agent of the Nine. So first of all, let me show you where Xur is located this week. He's over in the tower north, over near the speaker. So let's head over there real quick. Running, running, running. Keep going over here. There he is in the far corner, right by this beautiful view.
I think it is very possible. This is the
Alright,
line.
so let's take a look at what he has for sale this week. Now, for those of you who didn't know, Xur is a specialty vendor who comes only on weekends, Friday through Sunday, and sells exotic items that you can typically either buy from him or try to earn through the game. It's much easier to buy through him. So this week we have Eternal Warrior, which is a Titan class helmet. Looks pretty good for if you're running a Smashing Titan, Fist of Havoc Titan. Bones of Ao, which is what caused the internet to completely freak out, because it's the first time Xur has ever sold Bones of Ao. It is a hunter leg armor that allows you to have an additional jump. So if you have a double jump, you now have a triple jump. If you have a triple jump, you now have a quadruple jump. Very powerful and very useful when getting around, and I'm sure it'll be useful especially for PvE, so you can jump around quite a bit more. Voidfang Vestments is Warlock chest armor. That looks like it's good for using Nova Bombs, getting grenade energy. So it looks like a pretty solid PvP Warlock chest piece. The weapon of the week, of course, is the Last Word, the bane of the vast majority of Crucible players, with the exception of Thorn. Thorn's the only thing worse than the Last Word in terms of seeing it everywhere. But now, hey, everybody can buy the Last Word. It's available at Xur's. It's 24 strange coins. It's a very good PvP hand cannon. I wouldn't say it's great for PvE just because that range isn't the greatest, but definitely for PvP, this is a great weapon to have. Just fire it from the hip. Does bonus damage. The impact is great. So definitely give it a shot in Crucible. Exotic shards, of course. He always has those. Those are useful for upgrading your gear. And exotic engram. It's chest armor this week. So if you need some more exotic chest armor, get it from Xur. For curios, we have auto rifle, scout rifle, and hand cannon telemetries. These are used to speed up the upgrade process. So, of course, if you buy Last Word this week, grab that hand cannon telemetry and upgrade it a little bit faster. Plasma drive and stealth drive available to upgrade rare sparrows into legendary sparrows. Gives them a couple extra boosts. And then, of course, one of the most important things that everyone kind of doesn't think about that Xur has is heavy ammo synthesis. This, of course, is extremely helpful for PvE stuff. And it is the cheapest way to get a bunch of heavy ammo synthesis. So if you want heavy ammo synth, the easiest way to do it is give Xur one strange coin. You can easily earn that back. And instead you get 5 heavy ammo synthesis. That could be life and death when you're in the middle of a raid. So definitely pick up heavy ammo synth from Xur. And then, of course, I don't know why you would do this, but if you wanted to, you can exchange Motes of Light for strange coins
So, that is all Zer has this week.
Alright, so we're going to wrap up this first ever episode of Legends of Destiny with Moments of Triumph. Now, for those of you who've been watching BigCTV this season, I actually had a segment entitled Legends of Destiny that basically showcased some cool, very short, bite-sized videos of cool things I've done in my Destiny career. That's going to continue, but now on this show, and of course because the show is called Legend of Destiny, the new title of the segment is Moments of Triumph. So, I've got a few moments of triumph to share, and I want you to share some of yours as well. We'll talk about that in a second, but in the meantime, here's moments of triumph. Alright, so for this week's moments of triumph, I'm going to be focusing a lot on the Iron Banner, which ended last week. I've got 3 really cool moments that I recorded using the Xbox Record feature on the Xbox One. That I want to share with you because I think they're pretty awesome and I enjoy fun kills. So the first is going to be a very nice Blade Dancer spree where I just took out a whole bunch of fools. So, here's what I mean. Alright, now this next one I'm particularly proud of. One of the bounties for Iron Banner is you have to get 10 kills in a row without dying. Not an easy task considering when you're playing Iron Banner, all of your weapon damage and armor level matters. So it's not all balanced like it is for regular Crucible. So of course, it becomes a little more challenging, especially with more skilled players. But I was able to accomplish it in an awesome way. So here's a look at that.
Zone B lost. Heavy ammo on the way. Zone B secure.
Alright, so lastly, I'm going to end with kind of a funny moment that I did not honestly expect to happen. And that, of course, was I got a random blind double kill just by firing a couple pistol shots off. Was hoping to maybe get a couple body shots, but I got a double kill without even trying. So, here's what I mean by that. Alright, so that is my last moment of triumph. So I want to hear your moments of triumph, or see them in this case. So if you have an awesome screenshot or a video clip of you doing something amazing, whether it's a great loop drop, a kind of funny moment, whatever it is, if you have a great video clip that you want to show or a screenshot, comment on the video or send me an email at bigctvshow@gmail.com. I know I've been saying that a lot, but I really want to get the community involved in this show. That's the whole idea, is I want this show to be a community-driven Destiny show. So I need the community to help me out if I'm going to make that happen. So please feel free to send me any awesome moments, any thoughts you have on big topics of Destiny, any suggestions you want to have for topics that I discuss on the show. Please do so, as well as any suggested new segments that I can include in the show. That's going to do it for the first episode of Legends of Destiny. I am Chris. Thank you for watching, Guardians. See you next time.